Good day, podcast community. My name is Pete Kane. A lot of people call me Podcast Pete. If you're on this webinar, you're on it because you want to scale and grow your business, leveraging AI and community. If that's not what you want to do, then you don't need to listen to this webinar. But if you want to grow leveraging AI and community, you're at the right place at the right time. And for those that stay to the end, we got a special gift for you. So let's get started. What is the first step? It's an assessment. Everything happens with lead generation. Everything is downstream of leads. So if your business is not generating leads, everything else is a sideshow. So you have to, one, do an assessment, and that assessment enables you to gather information. And when you can gather information, you can see where a person is because you've got to meet a person where they are. You can't, if you're in a certain part of your business and you think everybody's going to start at the same place, they don't. You have to meet them where they are. An assessment allows you to do that. The other thing is waiting lists. Now, why is that important? Because once you understand supply and demand, if you have a capacity in your business of the supply that you provide, then the demand can drive it. But if you have unlimited supply, you're a commodity. And what do I mean by commodity is you have no pricing flexibility, you have no value flexibility, and you have no profit flexibility or profit escalating. So you've got to create the capacity for you to whatever you're doing. And the last thing in this first step is you got to do it fast because we're changing. The world is changing very rapidly, and AI is going to change the landscape like you've never seen. So the first step, do an assessment. Create capacity in your business, which creates a waiting list. And when you have a waiting list, we'll get into that deeper in our masterclass, but I want to just let you know that you have to have capacity for your business, and you do that with a waiting list. Second is high performance mentor and guide. If you think you can do and navigate up Mount Everest by yourself without a team, good luck, because you'll never make it. Nobody goes up Mount Everest by themselves. They hire a guide. They have a team. And the way you're doing it is getting to base camp number one. Then you're reassessing your guide, your strategist, your mentor, your coach is assessing what the next challenge is going to be. Maybe the weather has changed. Maybe you have to go up the west side instead of the east side. If you're trying to do it yourself, all of a sudden, you're not going to make it. You freeze to death. You stop. You stymie in your business. So you got to keep moving, and you got to move with a mentor, a coach, a guide. And you can always get my illustration of Mount Everest in one of our PDFs, and we'll give that to you at the end. But it's critical. And the reason it is, we all have blind spots in our business. That's just part of life. With a guide, with a coach, with a mentor, you're leveraging that person's experiences. And if you're a part of high performance, it's a different mindset than just regular. So if you're trying to get up Mount Everest, you're not going to say, give me the third best guide you have to climb Mount Everest. Should say, give me the best, because your chances of getting to the top increase if you hire the best. And that's the ones that get to the top. And I think for us to be addressed right now, purpose. A lot of people say, what's your purpose? Well, the purpose changes. If your purpose is to get to the top of Mount Everest, you can't just have that as your goal because you have steps along the way. And we like to say big steps in a small way. So to get to base camp number one, that purpose might be every single day you're showing up for a meeting. You're showing up for whatever you're showing up with, being present, not putting your life on autopilot, but being present and having a purpose, an outcome of that meeting. Because if you've ever said, man, where did the week go? We all have said it because we just kind of put ourselves on autopilot. We didn't show up on purpose. We didn't feel that moment. Because a lot of times people will set a 1 hour meeting because it's just the default. Can you do it in 15 minutes? Can you get the same outcome in 15 minutes that you normally had an hour? You can. But if you ask that question, like, what's our outcome for this meeting? And what can we accomplish? What do we need to accomplish in this meeting? As opposed to you block off an hour and you just kind of stretch it out. Because if you don't put boundaries on a meeting or some kind of way to stay on track, then you're going to use that hour. But what if you can do it in 15 minutes? You save 45 minutes. You never get back your day. So there's not an unlimited amount of time that you have. Every day, everybody gets it, 24 hours in a day. Whether you're Elon Musk or whether you're the business person, you still get 24 hours. But how you use that 24 hours, that's the difference. The people that are high achievers, the people are high performers, they use time differently than you and me. So ask those critical questions. Get that mentor, get that guide, get that high performance coach. And when you do that, you're going to accelerate. You're going to leverage your time, of which you never get more than 24 hours a day. So how you use it is critical to your success. The next one, why have I done 300 and some podcasts? A person, and I don't remember his name, but he said it 25 years ago. If you're given a talk, record it. If you're given a talk, record it. What does that mean? Once that talk is over, if you haven't recorded it and you had unbelievable, you just delivered the goods, you delivered value, then you're going to go, man, I wish I could have recreated that. It's over. It's done. You didn't get it. So record your podcast. Maybe I don't use them today. Maybe I use them in a year, 2 years. They're a digital asset. So doing 350 podcasts, I have those guests captured on my YouTube channel or Spotify, wherever it's been recorded. Digital assets are critical today. That's why we help our clients create online courses. They're courses that give people a little bit of you. There's a formula called 7-Eleven. Daniel Priestley, you can look him up, Google him. You'll see him all over now because he knows that 7 is 7 hours of content and 11 is a formula that Google created, which is 11 buying signals. People have to look for something 11 times. They have to make a buying signal before all of a sudden the brain switches on and they think they know you. But if you try to go for a sale and they don't know you, they'll Google you online. And if they Google online, they see nothing, crickets, they're going to go, she must not be very informative on that topic. You have to solve a problem, and you have to solve a problem with content. The whole world changed. Now it's digital content. So you got to create 7 hours. That's why we've done so many podcasts for our guests. We have, Google my name, Pete Kane, put podcast on there. I don't know, there might be some other Pete Kanes out there. But put the words Pete Kane, Kane, and the word podcast. See what comes up. you're going to see a lot of content out there. And we have just started. But I recorded every podcast. Every podcast. Now, a lot of them are on Spotify. A lot aren't. But the main thing is we've done the podcast. Can we make short form videos out of it? Yes. Can we make quotes? Yes. Can we make it into an audio podcast? Yes. Can we make it into a video podcast? Yes. We can recreate that content. And we, for our clients, create courses so people can experience you. You got to get to the 7-Eleven. Remember that number, 7-Eleven, and Google search Daniel Priestley. You'll see it. I mean, check him out. He has unbelievable content out there. Unbelievable, because he educates you. He wants you to consume 7 hours of his content, make 11 buying signals. His story is an amazing one. I think he has 8 or 9 companies that he's built into multi-million-dollar companies doing the same thing over and over again. And we're going to get to that because workshops are part of the strategy. But 7-Eleven, 7 hours, 11 buying signals. Next is our magazine. Now, Collaborative Magazine is community. I'm amazed when I walk the community and I go into 2 businesses that are side by side, right next to each other. They don't even know each other. Here it is, you're in business in the same plaza, same shopping center. And I ask, hey, do you know your neighbor next door, the barbecue place? Oh, no, I've eaten there, but I don't know who runs the place. You guys are in business together and you don't know your neighbor? It's kind of like you pull into a neighborhood and you go into the garage and you never meet your neighbor next to you. Meet your neighbor. In business, meet your neighbor. Go over and introduce yourself. We put the magazine together because the stories are in the magazine. So picture your city, your community, your shopping center having its own magazine. So you know what the stories are of the people next to you. You feel you can connect with them. Connection is everything. When you know somebody's story, you never forget it. So the magazine coming out the 13th of November. So if you're listening to this, it's in 2024. We just had an election. So you kind of put a frame of reference for the date. But anyway, I tell you that to go to pkane.me, pkane.me, take an assessment. And you can see our magazine in a different video, but just look out there, see the magazine. We ship it from Amazon, get it in 2 days anywhere in the country. But we are now in a position to put your magazine together. So if you're interested, get on our waiting list. Because if you're in Richmond, like I am right now, and you want to put a magazine together, go on pk.me and go on community and get on the waiting list. And so that way, when we launch a magazine, we're like Elon Musk. When he launched the Cyber truck, he had a waiting list for the Cyber truck of 1 million people. $100 a piece. If you run the math, it's $100 million. Before he even had the first one, before he built the factory, he had $100 million in the bank. Then he goes to, say, JP Morgan. That's the story I've heard. He said, look, I got orders for $100. That's a buying signal from 100, from a million, from 100. Let me see. What is it? 100 people. No. 1 million people spending $100. That's 100 million. Okay. So I have 1 million people that have given me $100 deposit. And so 3 years later, they're out there driving on the street. And what did he do? He didn't have to raise money. He just asked people, are they interested in a Cyber truck? Yeah, I'm interested. Well, okay, if you're interested, pay. Because a lot of our friends will say, yeah, I'll buy that. And then you say, well, okay, are you ready to start? Oh, no, not me. No. I mean, other people would buy it. So don't confuse yourself. with people that show interest. They only show interest when they validate it with dollars. So when somebody gives you $100, they're validating that they want a truck. They want a Cybertruck in that case. So on our magazines, you want to be a lead. You want your own magazine in Richmond? Go to petekane.me/community. Get on, select the magazine that you're interested in, and put a deposit down. In this case, it's $250. That tells us you're interested you're serious. You're making a buying signal. If you aren't, okay, that's fine. You don't have to. But if you want your own magazine, you want your own community, then you can Google us and see there's magazines out there, mainly in Canada, but now we're putting it in play in the US. So that's the fourth. The fifth one is Growth Day. This, my friend, is the secret weapon to our success and growth. Brendon Burchard, who you may have heard of, you may not. You've probably been under a rock if you haven't heard of him. He's the highest paid coach in the industry, has the largest community, Growth Day, in the industry, maybe 400,000 plus and growing rapidly, 190 countries. And the reason I tell you this, I'll tell you a little story. I heard him at a live event in San Francisco 10 years ago. A friend of mine, a client, invited me up. I was in LA and she said, do you want to go up and see this guy, Brendon Burchard? Didn't know who he was. I go and I was blown away. My jaw dropped. Lost track of him for 10 years. All of a sudden he was on Ed Milet's podcast and they mentioned the word Growth Day. I said, oh, that's weird. I haven't seen him in a long time. So I was listening to the wrong people. I don't know. But I wasn't tracking his success. Then I went on a Growth Day, signed up 14 days for free. I said, hey, what do you have to lose? 14 days. Try it out. He speaks to you every single day. Yes, you heard me. Every single day he has a daily message. Goes away at the midnight at night. So you have his wisdom every single day. So if you're interested, go to petekane.me/growth day. Try it for 14 days. Each one of these steps are scalable. Each one of these steps can help you grow, leverage your business. Together in a strategy with all 10 plus our bonus, that's when you accelerate the growth of your company. But check it out. 14 days, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. petekane.me/growth day. And send me an email there and say, hey, I signed up. We have a special prize for you, a special gift for you if you do, because everybody is helping him grow. So there's an affiliate program. So if you do it, just let me know. I may not know in a month or two, and I'll send you our course. That way you can start growing with mindset, goals, and habits. Okay, now the next one, number 6, is live events. Why live events matter to grow your business? You have to connect with people. You have to grow relationships, and you need to learn how to speak from a platform. So we get together on a regular basis. At this time, it's every 60 days. And we feature our clients to speak. So if you're interested, just go to petekane.me/live events. You can see some of it. I'm not saying interested in live events. We want the people that are podcasters there. But take the assessment first, and then we'll do a podcast with you. And that's just at petekane.me. So live events, Glenda Hicks, I want to thank Glenda. She's on the back cover of our magazine. She helps communities thrive through helping nonprofits grow and scale. She has a wonderful game out. So she gamifies learning. So what if you could gamify your nonprofit? How quickly could you grow? You'll be hearing more about Glenda Hicks, but she called it Peak Talks. I thought it was kind of cute. Like, yeah, TED Talks. but these are smaller ones, 5 minutes. 3 topics, 5 minutes. 3 topics, 5 minutes. So you can see some of our people speaking. Because if you can communicate from a platform, you're educating one on many. And that's an incredible strategy. The number 2 fear to death is speaking in public. It's just a fear. False evidence appearing real. So if you let that fear muscle grow, it'll own you. If you let the courage muscle grow, you'll own the fear. So I have a friend who was skeptical. He said, I can't do that. He was actually talking about Glenda. And next thing we did, the next one, he was speaking. It was a fear at first. He conquered it. Now he owns it. So live events help you educate one on many, help you connect and learn a valuable skill of speaking. Now, the 7th is why join our ambassador program. Now, you've heard of brand ambassadors. Similar. We keep everything in our community. So we encourage our clients to offer an ambassador referral. That way it stays in. We don't advertise. We don't spend money on advertising. We advertise through our stories and through our community. So you can sign up and be an ambassador. That way, anything you refer to us, we pay you 15%. So it helps you get to what I call a cost neutral marketing. When you can neutralize, let's say you spend $1,000, say you spend $100 on marketing. That's a little bit more realistic for some of our entrepreneurs. But if you can get to a point where you got that $100 covered, you'll keep going till the cows come home. And that's how you have to think about. Get a 10x return on your marketing dollar. If you're not getting a 10x return, find something that'll get you a 10x return, because dollars have to be multiplied in marketing. I hear a lot of times people say, well, I got my money back. That's not good enough. Not if you want to scale. You have to grow your marketing dollars. 10x is the best way to do it, because if you've heard of the book, The Road Less Traveled, or 2x, 10x is easier than 2x by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. There's a reason, because if you get above, you think differently when you think 10x. You think differently than just getting by, just growing a little bit. You have to think of marketing as a 10x strategy, because the quicker you grow, the more people want to come work with you, and it just snowballs. The momentum, the flow, the way you grow your business helps. And now you better be growing fast, because AI is going to change your business forever. And if you're not leveraging it, you're going to be like driving a bicycle when your competition is driving a Porsche. So get familiar with it. You can sign up. We always keep our money in the community. Then send out cards. That's another strategy. Now, why is send out cards part of this? One, it's scalable. It's duplicatable. It's simple. If you're not keeping your message in front of your clients on a monthly basis, they forget about you. How many times? There's 6,000 marketing messages a day. Do you think they're going to remember you if you're not intentional about putting your message in front of educating your people? So the cards are sent out monthly to our clients to keep them keep remembering us, educate them. You always got to keep educating your clients, your people, your market. And by doing it with the push of a button, I could send out 1,000 cards in one day if I had the budget for it. So that's the power of connection, of education, and a system. Okay. Now, the next one, that's 8. Okay, social media amplification. Now, I put it at number 9, but you could put it at 10. AI is usually number 9 on our system. But if you're not amplifying your message through social media, you're losing because, hey, the world went social years ago. So you got to amplify your message. You got to know what your message is. And so if you have a system of how you do it, how do you engage with people? How many platforms? I hear sometimes you got to be on every platform. No, you don't. You have to be on the platforms that matter. If your market's on Twitter or X, that's where you need to be. If your market is on Instagram and you know that's it, that's where you need to be. You don't have to be everywhere, but you have to be where your clients are, where your prospects are. Know your clients and prospects. That's why this next one, which is AI, AI is speed, business speed. It's a tool. I want you to think of this. Think of AI as 80-20. AI is going to do 80% of the details, of the mundane, of the stuff that keeps you from moving fast. You still got to give 10% on the front end and 10% to coach up, put your personal thing. You can't just depend on AI, but you've got to allow it to do 80% of the work. You do 20%. So if you're doing that, you're moving fast. And I challenge you, get ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you want to use, Gemini, whatever one you want to use it and start experiencing it. And if you experience it, you're going to be like running a marathon or not. You're going to be in a marathon with a Porsche when everybody else is walking or on a tricycle. So do you want your business to move fast? Embrace and leverage AI. You're going to see in the next year, maybe two at the most radical change that we've ever seen in our lifetime. And I'm 66, so I'll just say my lifetime. So if you're young, it'll definitely be your lifetime. So it's just going to change everything, like electricity changed the way we operated. It's going to be that dramatic. And you want to be, we used to say, you want to have your ear to the ground. You want to know, experience it. ChatGPT, get it on your phone. Try using it. Until you start using something, you can hear it, but until you use it, it won't make difference. So if you go to our Linktree page, you'll see number 9 is AI. My partner, Jeff Bourgeois, he's a genius. And he has an AI agency. What does that mean? Like you have a marketing agency, his is focused on one discipline, AI. He has the Catalyst Crew. Check him out on LinkedIn. Jeff Bourgeois, Catalyst Crew. Google him. Take his course. He has a free course. And you'll be able to do that through our course. So let me see if I have anybody else. Podcast Academy. Oh, yes. Hey, you want to get into podcast business? Get an academy. Because most that don't have a purpose, a strategy, and they get into podcasts because they hear it's growing. And it is. But you have to have a strategy. We teach you how to not only do podcasts, so you do that one thing, but be on guest on other podcasts because you're leveraging your story with the audience of the person that has you as a guest. We teach you that in Podcast Academy. So if that's something you want to learn, how to monetize podcasting, it's possible. And it's possible. Now, I want to give you take our assessment at petekane.me. Go on and take the assessment. That's the first step. And if you want to do that, we give you, I'm trying to think if I have it here. Maybe I'm looking for it. petekane.pdf is your gift for being on this webinar. petekane.pdf, petekane.me.pdf. I thought I had it on here, but I don't. Okay. You can get a free gift. You don't even have to give me your number, your name and email. It's my gift to you. The other gift is petekane.me/masterclass. You're going to get broken down into videos, each one of these steps. And the other step that I did go over is leverage your time. And I think let me see if it's on here. There it is, the bonus. Team Trexa. Amazing, amazing woman. Trexa. So buy back your time. Go on there. Dan Martell has a book out, Buy Back Your Time. Search it. Look at him. Consume his content. But if you can't buy back your time, it's different than outsourcing. It's basically you only have 24 hours. If you can buy back that time, you can use higher leverage activities. And when you do that, you're able to do more quicker and be more valuable to your clients. But buying back your time is a very important strategy in our 10. That's my bonus to you. So go petekane.me, take the assessment. If you want our gift, go to petekane.me/masterclass. Google search Dan Martell, buy back your time. Just go out there and do your homework. Check it out. Don't take my word for it. You've never heard of me. You don't have to take my word for it, but go out and do your due diligence. You'll be glad you do. Now, if you're interested in our next webinar, which is going to be next Thursday at 1 o'clock, register for it. We always give away free gifts. We always give people that are with us free gifts. My name is Pete Kane. It's been a pleasure. Take action. Take action. Go to petekane.me. Take our assessment. See where you stand. And then schedule a strategy session. We give a free podcast once people take the assessment and do a strategy session. So we have to know where you're going. We can't help you if we don't know where you're going. Leverage AI and build your community. My name is Pete Kane. Thank you for being with me. Please share this with somebody you know to help grow and scale their business.